refresh it here so it should be there. Bring it up. Bounce that video open. Hit that mute. How's everybody doing this evening? Wasn't sure I was going to do anything, but I decided I will for a couple reasons. I made an order earlier on Amazon for a few nut drivers from MIP, 3mm 1/4" driver, a 4mm handle driver, and a 4.5mm handle driver. The 4mm and the 3mm parts are supposed to be here tomorrow, with the 4.5 being, which I really don't need for this build, but to get it, it was there. Wasn't supposed to be delivered till Monday. Well, then all three of them were to be delivered Monday. Oh crap! So I went and put the other 4mm handle back in my cart. It showed delivery tomorrow, so I went ahead and ordered it. When the other one comes in, I'll just return it and drop it back off. But yeah, so I got a 4mm driver, nut driver, that'll be here tomorrow, so I can take care of that. I'll be able to finish up the bits and pieces that I want to do and put it in. I'll still have to wait because I may have to order, actually, I'm going to have to order some, if I want to put scale bolts where I'm planning on, I'm going to have to order some more scale bolts. I didn't get all the ones I needed, unfortunately. Let me grab wheel stuff. Besides these, oh no, there's more wheel stuff here. Wheel stuff all over the place. Depending on what I need. So, these are set aside. Up those are the aluminum for the rear. Not that I needed them, but I got them. So we're gonna assemble some wheels because I'm gonna, like I say, I'm gonna have to get some different bolts. I may dry everything together, or I may end up actually taking in doing things a little differently. Just waiting until the stuff comes in and going from there. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens after I get out of it tomorrow. I can wait another week to get everything ready, but it'd be nice to go take my rig for a ride on Monday and get paid for it, because you know, Monday's a holiday and I get the day off with pay. Okay. You guys all there. And I'm gonna light up a nasty cigarette. Here for the moment. I think I'll need much because I got everything else. Really, this I don't believe I'll need. This is a bag G, mostly all for my lights and the few extra parts and stuff there. That's the door stuff for the panels. So I don't need that. That can come over here, sit here for the moment. Go ahead and open these up because I'm going to have to clean off all the excess oil anyways, because they're going to be dirty from being oiled from manufacturer. It's still oily on the inside of the bag, so that one can be trashed. Up a smidge. Okay. Good for a moment. Guess I'll put the fronts together for now. So they come with just the normal Battleborn V-lock rings, which, well, the normal VP V-lock rings, but I've got a few other parts to put on here. I'm going to be putting on the notched V-lock rings. These are Battleborn notched. And the Wave Shark Tooth, whatever you want to call them, IFRs. So that's what's going to be the bulk of these wheels, with the Pro Line Mickey Thompson Baja Pro X tires. And the last part I need to grab going in there are our foams. So we will start with a drink of coffee. These ones can go over here because I won't be using them in this pair. These are spares. I'll put them over here along with all of those. Along with those. Along with those. These up and give them a wipe down because they'll have a little oil on them. Man, that orange looks great. See, the back half of the ring is a little more normal aluminum. The front's that real nice matte. That does look good. Does look good. I guess these are pretty pretty. That's where the other two bolts come from. Go ahead and put these two in here. Hold this down for now. Being this is VP stuff, it's SAE. I forgot a little bit. Not metric, at least not for that side. Okay, bag of foams. pair of tires. Packy. So fold and roll, kind of tough with this dual stage. Press down a little bit. Oop, lost it. Oop. See. Okay. Go in, then you slip in your ring. Ooh, slipped it right on through. Okay. So, make sure you're got them all staged up the proper way. Going from this side. Okay. Actually, should go ahead and take those apart. Install the bead block stuff. Get all that done, because it would be a lot easier to do. Okay. Those there for the moment. Not my first build. My first Origin build. But no, not my first build. How you doing, AZ? Imagine that Arizona Desert Rider 1. And yes, an Origin. Getting down to some of the nitty-gritty work. So my only question here is black hardware or chrome. I don't think I've got enough of that in black. I would have to order it so it looks like they're not chrome but gold. So essentially it looks like I'm going to be using the G8 stuff. Although I do have wheels black. You wouldn't really see it there. I don't want to use chrome. Don't have any chrome. So I guess the stuff here, the wheel screw kit in the GR8, which is the goldish color, she'll work just fine. This is the smaller one. Not the snuggest on these bolts. So I'm just going to snug them with this right now anyways. The fun stuff. No, My most recent build was a conversion, not really so much of a build, but I took a drag slash that I built a couple years ago and never actually ran. I basically made the truck that Traxxas released. I got it done about a month before they released their truck. It was, other than mine being all top end parts and the drag slash being stock Traxxas items all the way through. By the time they got their drag slash out, there was quite a few people making parts all over the place. So I converted that drag slash into a late model dirt oval. I ran a couple laps with it, but I gotta, do a few more adjustments, make some tweaks to it, and then turn around and get an actual late model body. What I've got now is like a stock car dirt, stock car body that we'd run in the street or dirt, but it's stock car, not late model. So I'll probably just buy a Traxxas late model body. Take a look and try to find my, should have been with that stuff in that little tub I had the other day in my other video I looked through. Try to find my SSD tool, see if it fits these a little better. I don't like the way this fits. It doesn't fit the greatest, and these are the only two drivers they offer. Maybe I'll buy the ones that Locked Up has on their site. Or a bunch of Locked Up RC scale bolts. Wouldn't hurt to have extra scale tools. Right on. Right on. Yeah, I thought about getting one of the Trucks of Fortunes. Almost did. I ended up buying the Wheel of Fortune package. And I didn't get anything special, just a nice price on wheels and beadlocks. Unlike some people, got some really, really kind of nice limited edition stuff. That would have been cool. I didn't. I got straight stuff on my Wheels of Fortune. That's probably the last Wheels of Fortune they'll do. They had actually discontinued doing the Wheels of Fortune in lieu of the Trucks of Fortune stuff, because they put Wheel of Fortunes in there. But for 4th of July this year, they did a Wheels of Fortune, so I imagine they'll do it, 4th of July, Christmas, that kind of thing, once in a great while. But yeah, I bypassed the Wheels or the Trucks of Fortune because, well, I bought the Origin, and then last fall I also got an Optic. Purple what? I'm trying to think. In the Optic, was there a purple livery? I know there's the teal one. I don't remember a purple one, maybe. Guess I'll have to go take a look. I got the page up. Purple wheels, gotcha. Wheels. Oh, okay, okay, yeah. So you got some of the limited edition purple wheels. Oh, right on. A couple of those greens that some people got was looking pretty nice too. Greens didn't look bad. Yeah, some of those purples look pretty badass too, though. No, Loctite. When you put your bead lock rings on your rims, regardless of whether you're using scale bolts or button heads or cap screws, for the bead lock rings, these smaller bolts, don't matter whose brand, what company, who made them, China, Vanquish, anybody else in between, do not bead lock or do not lock tight your bead lock screws. Put them in, snug them up, get them tight, get a good driver, and these are good drivers, they just don't really fit these heads super well. They're a little too, heads sometimes are a little too small to get a good bite. Anyways, do not bead or thread lock these things. If you get one tight and locks up, can't get it out, you're gonna screw up parts, whether it's the rims, trying to cut that bolt off and get it out of the hole, or you're gonna have to drill it out or whatever, and that, yeah. So save yourself the favor and the headache. Do not thread lock bead lock ring bolts, regardless of what kind of bolts, who made them, what brand, what size, what thread, SAE, metric, don't matter. No thread lock. Just keep your driver and go through and make sure they're all snug. You only have to do that from time to time. It's called maintenance. Because if you thread lock one of these things, you're going to play hell getting it out. Now the back bolts ain't so bad, but where you cinch the rims together, not as bad. You can thread lock those, but again, I don't recommend it. Just keep them tight. Every once in a while, run your driver back there and make sure your bolts are tight. If you have to pop the wheel off real quick, all right, pop the wheel off, make sure your bolts are tight. I think I will use the black SLWs to put these to the hubs as opposed to the GR8, because I think that'll look better. Just a little bit of GR8 here and there to pop some colors, accents. She's not going to be a shelf queen, she will be run. So basically one of these bags is good for 2 bead lock rings. because there's 24 bolts, I believe, or 20. Actually, I think there's more than that. Let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 24. There's 12 in each half. Couple more to go. Okay, now they're all snug. Tedious stuff. Tedious stuff. Were they riots, your purple wheels? Methods? I don't think they got any of the Method 105. What purple wheels did you get, AZ? I ended up getting, what were they? Not the Method 105s. A bronze rim, bronze beadlock. Here, I'll grab them. I thought maybe they might have been limited edition because they looked like they were all matte finish, kind of like these are, as opposed to the normal, you know, brighter, you know, more polished, I'd say, looking. Bead or wheel rims. Okay. set your wheel on your bead. Pro lines are a little weirder than most other ones. They work great, but you do have to do just a little bit of tweaking to make them in the right spot. Okay. Bigger ones. I probably could use it's supposed to be. I don't think I got enough. I need 24. We have 2 bags. But I wouldn't have them for the front end. So no, I'll use these cheapy little knockoff things. Ooh, did I get the wrong rings? There ain't no way those are going in there. Not long enough. I did get the 1 inch wide, I believe, which may be wrong. I may need the 0.8 clamping rings. I'm looking at it. I think I do. I got the wrong clamping rings. Either that or I use some long or some wide ass. And that moves too much in there. I may have to get the other clamping wings. Damn. So I can't even finish this. Well, that's kind of a pain. Let me take a look here. I'm on the Vanquish site. Wheels 1/9s. Okay. Puts that in the shop, I guess. Hey, you too. Thanks for hanging out, AZ. Appreciate you stopping in and checking out. I'll have some more going. I'll have to kind of decide how I'm going to do this. I need the other rings, obviously. These are the wide ones, and I need the thin ones. No use opening those, because those are 1 inches too. I don't even know those things that go in there without those. That's a long ways away. I mean, I'd need 12mm caps in there. And I don't think M3's it. Not M3s. So I definitely need the, yeah, those are 440s. Yep, got the wrong rings. Son of a dog. That means I am in hurry up and wait mode on that too. So the more I'm digging in here to those last bits, the more I'm realizing I don't have everything I need. They are kind of keyed if you're still listening, or if you come back and check it out. I mean, they're not, but there's no real major thing for alignment. The waves are keyed into the ring, and then your 24 bolts. You know, you get 2 in, and the rest of them are all lined up. Same thing with the back. You just get it lined up, and it's, you know, yeah, keying could be nice, but it could be a pain in the ass. Sometimes that keying, you get a little dust and dirt in there, and it makes things hard to come apart. So there's that back side of it too, which is kind of a drag. Okay, so I guess let me go ahead and separate these out. At least they are all separated, and then I can start bagging them up as they need to be in each pile. 'Cause the ones I won't be using the 664 small ones, because I use the GR8 scales. Okay, go ahead and grab a couple bags here. Real quick. Oh, come on. Darn thing. I can go ahead and put those things together and get that done, at least. Get the tires stuffed and beadlock rings put together. I don't necessarily need the aluminum rings for the back. I could run with the stockers. I do want the extra weight up front. You over there, there. much gotta wait from there. Okay. Well, being a real pain in the Watusi. Man, being a little bit difficult. time-consuming, tedious little bit of stuff, but the end result looks so damn good. Getting closer. At least to assembling the rear wheels. Like I said, I'm going to have to get the 0.8 clamping rings. I didn't realize I needed them, and I got the 1.0s. Could use them, but they're not the right ones, and they're going to cause a little slop around. Not a fan of that idea. Okay. Upper respiratory shit sucks. Especially since the Rona come out of a lab in some Asian country. Been fighting one crap ever since. Sure they're all going in the same way. have to put the aluminum rings in there, so I may or may not. But we'll be putting the aluminum rings or the brass rings up front. These are going to just use the normal 475s, which is what it comes with being the Origin. Now, if you wanted to, you possibly could put a little bit of Loctite on these scale bolts, but I wouldn't put them on that either. No Loctite on the wheels. It's just the smartest way to go. Okay. So if you are doing Origin wheels with these 1/9 X-rays, you need 0.8 wide rings if you're going to put, rings in them. Rim rings. Other than stock. I bought the 1.0s for the front and they're too big and I can't use them. But I can't actually put those in there, so I will get that done. Those mounted up. 475 brass hubs. Some added weight up front too. Because this can all come apart and go back together once I have the other stuff. Didn't missing one out of there. Still in the bag. Got it stucked. This would be an easy way to tell which are the fronts. Simply because the brass SLW hubs. Okay, 5 and 6, pretty much done, except for the rings. Yeah. Once those weigh quite a bit more than the front. Okay, so some other things I don't need. Set of hubs. Here. Yes, I'll put those on when I'm done. Because I got those to put on too. Okay, these are all unneeded items. So they can go back in here. Over on this side. Go there. Okay. Other side. This can come into here because I'll need it when I start pulling that together. Okay. There we go. You can call them done, but not quite done. But those are going to look pretty badass. Not sure if I like the fins in there or not. They do add a nice little dimension. They kind of block a little bit of the slot. But that's alright. I think I am going to be just fine with it. Make sure those are the right way. Yep. Everything's facing each other, so everything's facing the right way. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. You guys in here. I don't think they'll fit in there, will they? Maybe. At least 3 of them. Get all 4. But I could get 3 of them. Let's put this in there for filler area now. So, in the morning, I'll get up. I'll have to go into town, do a little bit of shopping. I need to pick up some stuff. At some point tomorrow, hopefully in the morning or early afternoon, my 4mm MIP nut driver shows up. So I can turn around and tighten up everything that I've gotten through so far, where I've used the scale RC 4-wheel drive bolts, because that needs the M3 needs a 4mm head, and to get those in. I'm going to pick up some, I got them in my cart, M12 or M3 by 12 and M3 by 10 locked up RC, because they use the actual drivers for the MIP or the Vanquish, so they'll be a little bit better, and I think the bolt quality will be a little better. So I'm going to use those when I get the rest of it together. So I'll probably get most of it put together tomorrow. I could put it all together and with the bolts and stock stuff and get it running, and then replace them and do a little work. And I may do that. But I may just kind of throw together what I got, get my orders in so they ship out Tuesday. I'll have them hopefully by the weekend. So by the end of next weekend, or by next Friday night, I got everything I need to finish the build up, at least as far as getting it all rolling, ready to go. And then I got to deal with interior and accessories and dash and that kind of stuff. So we've been going for a bit, yeah, hour and a half already. So what is she, 10:30? Yep. So I'm gonna go ahead and say thanks for hanging while I partially assemble my wheels. Hit that like, that share, that subscribe button. When you hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell, and it's gonna pop a little drop down menu. Hit the little arrow down, because it's gonna give you some options. If you just hit subscribe, you're not going to get hardly any notifications from anybody who you've subscribed to, including me, because it's defaulted to personalized. So the only way you'll get a notification from anybody you have, anybody's channel you subscribe to, is if they send you a message directly. However, that little drop down arrow, you hit that and check all. Now you'll get all notifications from videos, no matter who you subscribe to. So hey, so-and-so put a video out, now I can go watch it. So with that being said, hit that like, hit that subscribe bell, hit that all in the bell, and thanks for showing up. AZ Rider, appreciate you hanging out here. I know you're on another live now, so you enjoy that, and I will talk to you guys later.